Hey everybody, Vicky Fitch here, your direct sales expert. I am coming to you live from a beautiful sunny Southern California. You guys know how much I adore it here. I appreciate you guys being here. As you know, I've been on vacation for a little bit. I took a little hiatus trying to recoup. My son's been in the hospital, and we had a friend that's has terminal cancer. So we had a lot going on, but the world is still spinning off its axis, and it's time for us to come back together. Hey, Mel, welcome to the broadcast. It's time for us to come back together and step up. You guys know, if you've read my book, Step Up, Stand Out, and it's time for us to speak. Welcome to the broadcast. Melanie's here, David's here, Kimberly's here. You guys, do me a favor, because I've been censored. I'm getting my reach is like going. They don't want people to hear me. So hit that share button. Let's make sure people have an opportunity to come in and have a conversation about what's going on today. So I would love it if you guys put your name in the chat. I can see a bunch of you are out there on different platforms. We are live streaming on 5 different platforms right now. So thank you. Hey, Chris, thanks for being here. So make sure you put your name in the chat so I can say hello, so we can communicate. And again, remember the broadcasts are always about everybody gets to have their own voice and their own opinion, but I'm going to open up some questions that are going to be tough for some of you, but I ask you to look at them with an open mind. Ernie, Perry, I haven't seen you forever, buddy. Thanks for being here. It's so awesome to see you. So Teresa, welcome. And again, do me a favor, hit the share button, because we want other people to be able to join this conversation. Put a 1 in the chat box if you guys have noticed either yourself or other people are hesitant to post on Facebook. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. Hey, Sarah, welcome. It's so good to see you. 1 in the chat box if you yourself or someone else is afraid to post, afraid to comment, because you're afraid of the backlash, if you're afraid that someone's going to attack you, you're afraid someone's going to call you a racist or a crazy person, that it's like, put a 1 in the chat box if you experience that. Because, I was talking to my husband the other day, and it's not about this particular topic, but it's about what's happening in our world today. I was like, it's a black and white issue, meaning that there's a line, it's either this way or this way. And all of a sudden I started thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even say that during a regular thing. I can't even say that, because now all of a sudden I'm going to be a racist because I use the word black or the word white. My rental car was a white car, and it's like, it's crazy that now colors, like the colors on the rainbow, the colors of the spectrum, I guess black and white aren't on the rainbow, but now everybody's like, oh, I don't know. Like, do we have to start thinking about what we're going to say before we say it? Now, there's a difference between making sure what you're saying is delivered in a way that's kind and respectful, and now being afraid of certain words in our vocabulary. And that's why it's time for us to step up, stand out, and speak. I've had enough of it, right? I've had enough. And if you know me at all, like, put a 2 in the chat box if you know me. Like if you know me, if you've been on my broadcast, if you know who I am, if you read my books, if you get me, right? I'm not a racist. I love everybody. I don't care what color, creed, sexual orientation. I don't care who you are. I love you, right? Your demeanor, your disposition, the way you treat other people is what's going to make me identify what I think of your of who you are as a person. It's got nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's got nothing to do, even your word choices. If I can dig a little deeper and find out what you meant, because my goal is to understand you, not to try and judge you. And the world has turned into like a judgment field. Put a 3 in the chat box if you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to catch up on some of these comments really quick. Captain Brad in the house, welcome to the broadcast. Why am I censored? You don't talk about the president. I do talk about him sometimes, but I certainly talk about Gavin Newsom, which I'm going to be talking about today, because it's relevant to what's going on now. Whether you're in the state of California or even in the United States, you might experience this kind of aggression that's going on with government officials, or maybe just leaders in your industry, in your organization, in your work, and whatever. And we have to be able to respectfully have a conversation and bring other people into the conversation. Let's see. Not many people. Yeah, most people are afraid. Exactly. Yes, glad I have a red car, Melanie. I hear you there, right? I absolutely hear you. Tammy Flynn in the house. Tammy, I miss you, and I'm going to send you a private message right after this. Kimberly, thank you. Melanie, yeah, everybody, we get it, right? And that's what we want to do. Yes, Anna, I'm going to try and do early morning. As a matter of fact, the Do You Neo show relaunches again tomorrow. We're also at 11:30. We're doing like kind of a lunch and learn. to try and give people who are struggling with evening time stuff a chance to connect with the audience, right? We cannot be afraid. We have to speak up. Kimberly, that's exactly right. So if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the box. Or if you're struggling with the way to communicate something, like maybe you wanted to have a conversation on Facebook, or maybe you wanted to contribute to a conversation and were afraid you were going to get lambasted, and so you just said, you know what, I'm just going to be quiet because I don't have the courage, right? Because I get it. Some days, none of us have the courage. Even me, someday, I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I just, I can't do it. I have to have my energy reserves for my family and for myself. And so sometimes going out head to head with the public or with the world when we know what's going to happen, it leaves us feeling depleted, and we need to find, ways to deliver a message where we're not depleted, where we're energized and enthusiastic and saying, and we're having constructive conversations. It's not about bashing other people. If you're doing the head bashing, you got to stop. You need to stop, and you need to learn how to articulate yourself well enough to deliver what the message you want to deliver without insulting or hurting other people, because, you can get your message across without being that way. Melanie says red is associated with Native Americans sometimes. It is, right? And now it's all of a sudden I've seen some of the most ludicrous stuff, and I'm just going to start calling it out. Now, it's ludicrous to me. You can have your own viewpoint if you think having a red car means something, right? If people are saying, yeah, my car is red. Oh, you're talking about Redskins. Oh, no, Redskins, that's terrible. I mean, it's like the whole thing of changing sports teams' names and changing everything, I personally believe has gone so far overboard that we can't even find our compass back to the true north of what's really wrong versus what we can come up with. We can, dig deep enough to find something that we can pull out and say, oh my gosh, look, I knew it. Jennifer says she's never afraid to comment or post, but I always try and show positivity and love to others when I do comment. You know what, Jennifer, that's what we need to all do. Cleveland baseball players. I know, right? And again, we're going to get into some controversial topics on the show for sure. But today we're going to talk about two primary ones because the media isn't talking about it. And you might have this in your state too. Today I posted something. There's a network called OAN that's here. I know I think they're based here in California. But anyway, they did a post, an article and a news briefing about Governor Gavin Newsom. So do me a favor, put a 4 in the chat box if you live in California. I know a lot of my followers do. Many of you guys that are here on the chat do not, but put a 4 in the chat box. Even if you're watching the replay, put a 4 in the chat box if you live in California. Because again, I think a lot of interstate information doesn't get out to the rest of the US or the rest of the world. But part of it is because there's just so much information out there and so much craziness. We've got this thing that happened. Actually, there wasn't just one explosion yesterday. There was 4. I don't know if you guys know that. We'll probably talk about that maybe tomorrow or the next day. But there was 4 explosions yesterday. So the world is so inundated with information that a lot of stuff gets missed, covered up, and passed over. So I just want to bring something up. Kenda, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. A lot of my online pals are diehard, so I've been holding back just to have them feel comfortable. I don't have to reveal my hand up front. You know what? And you never have to reveal it if you don't want to, Anna, but I appreciate you being here. Some are so overboard they don't know which way is up. Kim, I agree. I sometimes I'll go, really? I'll just look at them and go, really? Because only people that are willing to have a conversation does it even do good to have a conversation, because if they have chosen somebody actually, and any of you guys actually know me, right? Hey, Jenny, welcome. Coach Jenny's in the house. Somebody actually called me a devil worshiper yesterday. And if you guys know me, I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Whether you do or not doesn't matter. But if there's anything you really can't call me, it's a devil worshiper. I mean, you could call me all kinds of names, but that one was so I was like, what? Can you help me understand? Help me connect those dots, because they're just so far off, right? And so people have just they get triggered with something, and they have these instant reactions that we have to help people. We've got to round the edges a little bit and give people an opportunity to communicate without feeling like they have to be in the fight or flight position. I got to ram my position down your throat, or you're going to run me over with a bulldozer. Let's see over here. What does it say? Yes, exactly. And then the whole Dixie Chicks changing their name too. I think that's insane. I love the name Dixie Chicks, and I think that was so ridiculous. And to me, now I didn't dive deeper, right? I didn't dive deeper to look and see if there's some other maybe things they had thought about it a long time and they just decided this was the right time. But on the surface, I think that sounds like a politicized move to me, right? That's what it sounds like, instead of a well thought out, something that's been on the radar for a while and they just made a choice. So that's why I don't want to judge them. But when I heard that, I thought, really? And before I make, a claim or make an assumption or assertion of what's going on there, I would need to know the details. But I did think that was really crazy. Melanie says she lives in Pennsylvania. Beautiful morning. Candy Sakai from Japan in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Yes, I know, right? 4 explosions yet not. Yet only today, not yesterday. Yes, right, Anna? You didn't even hear about him yesterday. TikTok was reporting some of them, but none of the media was. And the only one that showed up on the radar today was Lebanon, or that I found. Maybe you guys saw him different. Let's see. Hey, Joey, welcome to the broadcast. I was told to enjoy my ventilator. Oh my gosh. It's so good to be. Yes, it's great seeing you guys. I know, right? You're not a devil worshiper. They were far, right? I mean, I'm really not. Like, that's just, you can call me all kinds of crazy things, but not that. Hey, Frank Duster's in the house too. Okay, so let's talk about today's, 2 specific issues I want to chat about. And one of them I posted yesterday was Gavin Newsom, and again, I don't know if you guys are here in the US or not, but he received a gift. Actually, I'm going to back up just a minute, because many of you have been following my posts and you know that I posted about Gavin Newsom and the $1 billion mask deal. Now, why the entire world doesn't know about it, and especially the entire United States, and especially the state of California, most people don't know, because most media outlets aren't even going over this. And I have all the details outlining this. If you look at my news feed, you guys can see them there. But Gavin Newsom purchased $1 billion with a B, $1 billion of masks in California for, I believe it, and I'd have to pull up the records really quick, but I'm going to say $4.78 each. Which is ludicrous, because Garcetti purchased them from China. Let me just back up, because many of you don't know what I'm talking about. So I'll just recap this in a 1-minute thing. He purchased $1 billion of masks from China. Not, our own U.S. economy is struggling. And instead of infusing our economy with the $1 billion of our taxpayers' money, he decided to purchase $1 billion of masks from China. And so his way of dealing with it is that it was a company that is based, it's called BYD, was based in LA, but it's known for defective products. And I don't want to get the details wrong, but millions of dollars of defective electric equipment, like public transportation equipment, is what it has sold us, right? Defective equipment. It doesn't produce masks. They don't make masks. But yet, Governor Newsom decided to order $1 billion of masks from China. They actually have to come across, it's not so long delays. Instead of dealing with Honeywell or another local vendor, which Mayor Garcetti here in California actually ordered them, I believe it was for 78 cents each. He ordered them from Honeywell, which was, if I remember correctly, in Utah. So let's say within an 8 hours drive from LA, and a shorter distance from many other places in California. But yet our governor decides to infuse $1 billion of taxpayer money into the economy of China. Now, I'm going to look up at your comments in just a sec. I just want to get this thought out so we don't get distracted. But if you have questions about this, because a lot of people say that couldn't possibly not only did it happen, he didn't even deny it. He actually announced it, kind of trickle announced it on a live TV show he was on, but then wouldn't release the details of it. And he's very tricky, that one. I mean, he really is a very tricky guy. And his own party, his own cabinet was angry. He gave them over $500 million. I believe it was $558 million as a deposit. Okay. Think about that. Our country is struggling. Our state is struggling. And he gave them $558 million as a deposit. Now, for something that wasn't going to come for 60 days or 90 days, he's paid for the mask 4 times what other people are paying, or maybe 5 times, I guess, 78. I don't know. I have to divide the 470 by 78 cents. So 5 times, 6 times, way more than anyone else. And then I think it was like, again, nobody's really talking about this. There's only a few articles like the Sacramento Bee and a couple people that are picked up on this and said, what the heck? Even his own cabinet is saying, we want the details. He refused to give the details over and over and over. And when he finally delivered them and we got the actual documentation where we can see the order and we can see what's going on, he had already given another $128 million. Again, we haven't received any masks yet. We've given $750 million or very close to, with zero masks at this particular moment. When the first order of masks came in, they were defective. Now, this is a big shock. Now, and he says, well, we're going to actually get a refund. And so my thing is, we as a society, this has nothing, and whether or not you live in this state or this country doesn't matter. It has to do with asking good questions. My next question was, who gets the interest? Where's the interest? When like $1 billion, $778 million, or, let's just go $750 million. The interest actually on $250 million, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I could get this wrong, but it doesn't really matter. $200,000. We're getting to that in a minute, Kimberly. $200,000 a month in interest. I just want to think about that for a minute. So if we are getting a refund, they've had that money for what, 2 months, 3 months? Who has the interest? Where's the interest going? Are we getting the interest back too? Because interest is a huge factor on $1 billion. I mean, would you guys agree? I mean, that's huge. So all of a sudden, we look at this and say, well, where's that interest going? I mean, it sounds like, I'm not saying this happened. Now, remember, I am not saying this happened. I'm saying ask some good questions, because that's exactly what would trigger some type of audit, a red flag to say, that sounds like money laundering. It sounds like loaning money to the Chinese without, the consent of the American people. Because first of all, he didn't go through proper channels. His own party was pissed off about it, saying you can't do that and we want to see the details. And he refused. But there's so many other things going on with COVID and lockdown and masks and this and that it's like a shell game. Which one are you going to look at? Which thing are you going to deal with? And he's got the people so freaking confused that they stop dealing with the mask and where the $200 million a month comes from. I mean, $200,000 a month comes from. And then, and we still don't have all the masks. I got to go back in and dive into that myself. I have a whole list of articles if you guys want to see them. But so that's going on. And then, last week, it was a week ago, not one mainstream media outlet came out with this. OAN is the only one. He got a $3.7 million house given to him. Because, I got lots of friends that give me $3.7 million homes. I mean, lots of them. I have so many homes that are almost at $4 million. I don't even know what to do with myself. So this is the story behind it. And you guys can see the article. If you just go on my news feed, you'll be able to see it, that it popped up today. And by the way, if you haven't hit the share button yet, hit the share button, because I think people need to know about this, because you need to maybe look into your own community and what's happening, because there's a lot of this going on that needs to stop. And we just need to ask good questions. Ask the right questions. You decide what you want to do with the info, but let's ask the questions. Let's be those people that step up, stand out, and speak. Because we gotta know. I mean, if there's nothing going on here, don't look at the man behind the curtain. There's nothing going on, then say it. Say, hey, this is the scoop. But when you look at it, it's the home was purchased by his cousin's LLC and was gifted to him. I believe it was it the end of 2018, or it was purchased in 2018. I'll get the rest of the details. You can watch the article, right? Like I said, it's on my news feed. There's a whole article from OAN and the video of the report that they did last week about this, showing the home, showing the different pieces, and asking some really good questions. So, because they're saying that this reeks of kickbacks or money laundering or all kinds of stuff that we would never put up with most people. So anyway, his cousin's LLC gifted him this $3.7 million home. Now, this is where it gets even better, because some of you guys can say, oh, well, that's, maybe he has a very generous cousin. And you do know, by the way, I really want to know this, and don't be embarrassed if you didn't, because most people don't seem to know this. Put a 5 in the chat box if you know that Nancy Pelosi, our Speaker of the House, is his aunt. Put a 5 in the chat box if you know, and a 6 if you did not. And don't be embarrassed. Like I said, be honest, because most people don't seem to know that. And I just want to make sure that, because it does it just kind of gives us more information. We need all the information when we're making decisions, right? So he then, by the way, he refied a house he was gifted and pulled out $2.6 million in cash. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys heard that. He was gifted a $3.7 million home, free and clear, so he doesn't have to pay any taxes. You have nothing on it. And then pulled out $2.6 million in cash without having to pay taxes on it. Let that marinate for a minute. That would bring, if any drug dealer, does that not sound like something a drug cartel would do in order to get away with not paying taxes? Can we think about that for a minute? Because what? Because if any of you have a home, hey, I'll just take a $2 million home. If you have a $2 million home you'd like to gift me so I can refi it and pull out $1 million, I'm good with it. But I'm betting that some people are going to be checking in on me and saying, where girlfriend get the money and why are people so generous? Why do they want to give you such lavish things? And then all of a sudden you, as a governor of a state, that you're asking the federal government for money to cover all the things, including your $1 billion cash infusion to China, that you're asking them to then, the federal government to pay when you're getting a $3.7 million house gifted to you. We're missing about $200,000 a month in interest from a loan from the American people the Californians that we did not agree to and we don't need, by the way. And then does this not just if we just keep going, does this make sense on why we would have mandatory mask orders coming back when the man has purchased $1 billion worth of masks at an extremely inflated price? And this is all factual, guys. This isn't me being a conspiracy theorist. If you look at my feed, you can see all the news reporting that's been done on it. It's just not very much. You got to find it because people are burying it. None of the mainstream media is posting it. So this is some cray things going on, and the things you would not expect to happen in the United States. So I'm just wondering, now I'm going to go through and look at your comments and questions right now, right? And Melanie says you can gift me a $150,000 home anytime. Just saying. See, she's not even greedy. She doesn't care. It doesn't have to be 3.7 million. She'll take 150. I was going for 2 million. All right. I was being greedy. Melanie, she's not. She's going for the basics. So I'm looking through your comments, and yes, exactly. You guys have some great comments. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, community. Yes, exactly. Right. They're back. Some of these are older comments about talking about me being a devil worshiper. Killing. The holidays are killing. How many businesses are being harmed right now? I know lots of friends that are going out of business permanently. One of my favorite stores is going out of business permanently. It's scary and sad. He owes so much money. Recall Gavin Newsom 2020. Absolutely. Honestly, I am a 100% proponent of recalling that man because he doesn't seem to recognize the value of his position. I'm going to add one more piece on, and I promise I'll go through the rest of your comments. Do you guys know what happened during the holiday, right? When all the wineries had to shut down, but his didn't? Put a 7 in the chat box if you didn't. Well, put a 7 in the chat box if you did not know that. Plumpjack Winery. He owns a company called Plumpjack Winery. Put a 7 in the chat box if you didn't know that he didn't have to close his down. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute, because of course he has reasons. But put a 7 in there. And while I look at these comments, let's see. Hey, Q, the brand's in the house. I bet he got 10% kickback. You know what? I bet he got more than a 10% kickback, Frank. It's just I would wonder if maybe that's where the money was funneling for some of these additional purchases, right? I wonder if that's what was happening. Retail isn't even geared up yet. Retail is struggling so hard right now. Bye, Anna. California is broke, but that's only because he keeps spending it. We had a $21 billion surplus. Did you hear me? $21 billion surplus. You can look that up on Google. $1 billion a mass and then get them from China. Exactly. Right, Kim? Why? Why would you not? If you're going to order that, why would you not order them from a local company? Why would you not order them from the USA? Because we need our economy stimulated here, not in China. Especially, it's not like you got them for 5 cents each. You paid a Uber super premium no one would pay. And then he says, well, his excuse, by the way, was it was like the Wild West out there. We weren't sure we could get any. And yet his own one of the largest city. I think LA is the largest city in California. It's not the largest county, but I believe it's the largest city in per capita. Your own city, Garcetti purchased his mask. He didn't buy them from you. You were not setting the state up. He bought them from here. Now, whether he had something going on, because that man's a little cuckoo too. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff's going on between the police department and him. He actually called his own police department murderers. The people that actually protect him 24/7. Long story, but they said they think he's a little off his rocker, but we'll talk about that one later. So the largest city here that would be using those masks bought them locally, probably because they don't want to pay overinflated prices from the governor who's playing a shell game with California's money. That's why he does need to be recalled, in my personal opinion. What's crazy is he'll run for president in 2024. Frank, if he gets away with this crap, he probably will, because that means the blinders are on and nobody's even paying attention. Because when people throw this many red flags in your face and you ignore them, I mean, that's cray. FDA can't block that. What, what were you asking if the FDA can block? Because this is going back a few minutes, so let me know. He owns property taxes on it. He doesn't owe property taxes on his, well, he does. That's what this whole article is like. Wait, where's the property taxes on that? And he got in trouble apparently for something else where he didn't do that as well. And so here he is, all of a sudden, this is crazy. It's crazy. I'm sure Auntie Pelosi said too. Yeah, right. It's okay to question things. We should question. And that's the thing. If there's nothing to see there, right, we don't have to accuse. We can ask questions first. When we ask questions, then we can get the answers and say, okay, that makes sense, or no, sorry, that's a lame excuse. Like, it was the Wild West out there. We weren't sure we were going to get any. I mean, that's just a load of crap. I mean, sorry, that's my opinion. Kickbacks in stock or a high-level position when governorship's up, right, Ja? See, it's like, when someone brings it up to us, then all of us can see it clearly, but it's that they just keep somehow getting hidden. How in the world did no reporter except for OAN come up with this information, the story on this mansion and the $2.5 million he just pulled out, or $2 million or whatever it was? Like I said, it doesn't even matter the amount. He somehow just got tax-free money from a house that was gifted to him while he's the governor, making some other very interesting deals that many are considered shady, right? I don't understand why everyone is not ticked off about this. That money would help a lot of people, right? Kim, you're 100% right, and people don't know about it. And that's why I said we have to step up, stand out, and speak. And that's why I'm speaking, like I said, and question what I'm saying. Go look it up on Google. Go to my news feed. Go search it. Don't take my word for it. Just go and find out. And if you find out something that's even more interesting, maybe even in the positive direction, hey, let's talk about it, because we're not trying to pass disinformation. We're trying to ask good questions where we can say, hey, we're an informed society, or at least we're supposed to be. Americans we're allowed to, right? We're a free society, and we want to continue with that opportunity, right? Anna, you're back. Welcome. Let's question everything. I agree, Joey. The taxes on the house will be fun. Yeah, but hey, if you're getting $200,000 a month in kickbacks from the mask deal, it's been, I think I'm going to say that was April. So you got May, June, July. It's August now. That's 800,000. We almost got $1 million. If we just keep pushing this a little longer, we might have $1 million. Now, again, that was a little facetious because I have no idea what percentage of that money he's getting, but somebody's got it because, or at least the Chinese government is making $200,000 a month in interest on our money because somebody's making it. We know the arbitrage is there. We just don't know who's there. Pelosi gave him a house. Well, she didn't give him that one. This was his cousin's LLC that gave it to him. And I believe, if I remember correctly, his cousin is also his partner in one of his businesses. I will get back to Plump Jack. Just 1 second. You're absolutely right. Why is Pelosi getting another bailout for? Exactly, Ciro. Why? Why are the Dems? Because I know, right? This is a political show today, and it may be for the rest of my life. I don't know, but we have to know so we can make informed decisions. Why are the Dems, Pelosi's leading that charge, may want bailouts for these cities who abandon their police departments, let people's houses get burned down, businesses plummeted, pummeled and plummeted, they pillaged? Why would we? And hey, this is not about the citizens. This is about why would the rest of the world, rest of the U.S. need to bail those cities out who made the choice to go, we don't know. Defund the police. Let's go ahead and let them just rape and pillage the entire city. It's insane. I mean, it's nutballs. So no, I don't want to pay for it. And do I think that we need some more stimulus? I do. I think there's a lot of people that are hurting tremendously. Many of you know I'm trying to start my nonprofit. We were planning on doing it before, and we're working on it right now because we want to help people that are in need, because there's a lot of people hurting. There's a lot of people that have been doing better in the US, better than they ever were, with this extra $600 a week they were getting in unemployment. And now that it's gone away, they spent the money. We know some people, they already spent the money, and now they're going to be taking this huge hit. It's going to get a little crazy, right? And so instead of helping everyone, this stuff's going on. So many of you, I can see, did not know Pelosi was Gavin's aunt, but she is. New York State, yeah, I wouldn't let that fly. And no place should let it fly, Anna. No place should let it fly. Let's see. New York is broke too. Absolutely true. I know there's so many comments here, and I'm so appreciative. By the way, if you haven't hit the share button, could you guys do me a favor and hit the share? And if you haven't hit the live notification tab, make sure you hit that as well. I am going to start trying to do what I call a lunch and learn. We're going to be doing the broadcast at 11:30 p.m. a.m. Pacific, to try and give other people a chance to do it, especially if they're at their lunchtime and stuff, where it's not so busy in the evenings. Let's see. Yes, you guys are awesome. You have a lot of really good, probably legit by law, yet seem shady. You know what? I think it's not legitimate by law because of his public office and that he has to disclose those things, but I'm not sure. And that's what we want to, get to, right? Fraser, welcome to the broadcast. Appreciate you guys being here. I want a barn dominion. Kim, I like it. Kim's looking for a barn donation if anybody wants to do that. Kenda did know. Let's see. I knew about the winery. You're right. Okay. So the winery, really quick, and I promise I'm going to go back, get through those comments. The winery. So Plumpjack Winery is Gavin Newsom's winery. Now, there was a big thing. If you are in California and you're not in a group called the Recall Gavin Newsom 2020 group, let me know. I'll be happy to add you if that's something of interest to you. But they were the ones that alerted me to it because I didn't know. Somebody had called up Plumpjack Winery to make a reservation for the holiday, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're open." Blah blah blah. So a bunch of people were going to go protest outside the location. They had this tweet. I mean, the screenshots of the conversation of that they were open. So they went through this whole thing of people. They knew people were going to go and protest. So all of a sudden they said, there was a logistical error. So he has 3 other restaurants / wineries. I don't know what the full winery or just restaurants to refer other people to that weren't closed. They originally said, well, that county was not a closed county because it hadn't been affected. In my personal opinion, now this is strictly conjecture based on my personal opinion. You guys are allowed to have your own and do whatever you think. But as a leader, I would either, I think, and this is off the top of my head, but as a leader, knowing that my state, if I was the governor, my state is crumbling, most of the businesses are shut down, and all of a sudden I'm allowing people to, only wineries can open if they're outdoor, knowing that I have an outdoor winery, where people can sit outdoors. Like, it seems just a little bit hypocritical, and as a Christian, the Bible says we should abstain from all appearances of evil. Doesn't mean it's evil, but we should abstain from all appearances of evil. It seems that it just to support the other people, either number one, he would have his own wineries closed down. Number two, he would try and have his winery combined with other people where he could be helping them at the same time or donating part of the profits to a fund. Now, it's something to help these other local businesses or other wineries or something. Again, that's my opinion. It has nothing to do with fact or whatever. I just think as a leader, my heart would be hurting. I would feel guilty knowing I'm making a fortune because nobody else is allowed to be open and everybody's coming to my place. I mean, it just abstain from all appearances of evil, because that just doesn't seem right. Put an 8 in the chat box if you agree with me on that one. Put a 9 if you don't, but put an 8 if you agree with me that, leadership comes with responsibility. And sometimes it's not convenient. I'm not saying his employees shouldn't be able to work, and I'm not saying any of that. That's why I said there's a middle ground there. Because we don't want even more people out of work just because, but we got to look at where we're at and recognize leadership is responsibility. And this is not what I would call good leadership. Let's see. New York is broke too. Well, sure, Joey. New York's broke because they're still nuts and they're still allowing, craziness to go on. And, those police officers put their life at risk every single day. 21 billion. Yeah, right? Like Fluffy would say. Can you imagine if Trump would have ordered them from China? Right, Frank? If President Trump would have ordered a pencil from China, the entire the mainstream media would have come down on him like a hypocritical, nightmare. But, California is struggling. We're going to order $1 billion in masks, but let's stuff that under the covers. Let's not mention that, right? Let's not mention that. Let's see, not quite as bad as LA, but close. You like just like New York. Yeah, surprise news. Well, we're working on it, Anna. We actually had the recall votes before, and then that's why I believe he's been going in the stay-at-home order thing again, because we're out doing pop-ups saying, hey, let's sign this petition. We only need 800,000. I don't even think we're that far off because we need 800,000 votes. Let's see. I hope you're screenshotting these articles before they spread. You know what, Kim? Good point. Not sure that I've actually been doing that the way I should, but that's a really good point. I need to print them out and do some stuff with it. The MSM isn't a serious scoop. They have to break lockstep to do so. Exactly. And they're worried about that because they don't want to be ostracized either. Some of the people that have done it have been completely blackballed from their industry. It is absolutely nuts. Let's see. Jerry Taylor Swade in the house. Welcome. The silent majority can't stay silent any longer. We can't, people. And again, I'm not telling you to go out and blast people. I'm saying hit the share button. Let's ask good questions. Let's find out. Let's let other people in on the info, and then they can do what they want with it. But if they're not getting it, that's the problem. When we help them get it, then we can. Actually watching on Periscope and another device. Yes, I am on 5 different platforms right now. Pelosi supported Omar in Minnesota with millions of dollars for a campaign. Pelosi has gone full antichrist. You know what, Joey? I'm not sure I can disagree with you. When I saw, this, and maybe you guys disagree with me, but when I saw how politicized she did with the kente cloths and all of them in unison, like little strip rows, and I was mortified because they're supporting something is one thing that you believe in, and making a statement with wearing these cloths, and even people that are that's their culture were insulted and angry because they use them incorrectly, and it's disgusting. New York unemployment was snafu. I've heard of many who had no unemployment come through them because right. It's been bad. The unemployment here is crazy. Kathy, thank you so much. Truth does matter, and we've got to bring it out. Like I said, hit the share button. If you guys, even if you're afraid to comment and you're just lurking, hit the share button and say, hey, what do you think of this? Like, you can act like you think I'm a crazy woman. I don't care. What do you think of it? Because we need to expose the truth and let people ask good questions. I don't care. You don't have to agree with me. Let's talk about it, because if we're aware and we communicate, then things can be different. Yes, I understand, Melanie. We're trying different things. Yes, in the recall Cuomo and recall de Blasio groups, Joey, I think that's good. I'm not in those states, so I'm not sure how much help I could be, but I think when I see the 2 Cuomo brothers together, we better talk about that another day, because I could just go off for another hour on that one. Anna, Joey, can you tag the group there? Anna wants to join the Recall Cuomo group. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So thank you guys. I see some agreements. I didn't see any disagreements, but again, if you guys do, it's totally okay. Those that vote him back in office need their head examined. I hear you that too, Kim. New Jersey, we have similar governor. Yes. Ciro, you do. Are you in New Jersey, Ciro? Why did I think you were somewhere else? Dr. Lisa Sasante is there, and she's been keeping me up to date on what's going on there. And New Jersey is nuts too. I think don't you have a Save Jersey campaign going on? That kente cloth virtue signaling was done so bad. Right. That was so bad, Anna. Okay. So guys, do you have any other questions about stuff? I would like to know, could you guys do me a favor? Because we're at the end of this part. Would you put a 1 in the chat box if you guys are interested in me continuing up with the voice of, I think I might call it the voice of reason, although some people might not like that, or stop being silent. Maybe I'm just going to call it stop being silent. I think that we need to talk about the issues. And again, I'm not looking for a bunch of people to agree with me. As you guys know, I'm totally okay with people not agreeing. I just want to deal with people that want to understand before they want to be understood. Like, I want to understand you. If you have a question, let's talk about it. Let's see if we can give more information, or if we're wrong about something, hey, let's expose the truth. The truth is the truth. And that's the beauty of it, right? Early on in the pandemic, Cuomo brothers banter was a nice diversion. It was a nice diversion, but my gosh, come on now. I can't talk about them yet. Speak up. That's right, Kim. Love this. Thanks, Joey. Go for it. You have the voice of reason thing down. Thank you so much, Anna. Well, I hope that you guys will join us if we start, like I said, doing my daily broadcast. I think we need to, because I think that's where the world is hurting right now, is that they're lost. And I know I'm getting like 100 Facebook Messenger messages a day from people just kind of sending me stuff to kind of look at and read, because they know I do research it, or they're afraid to post it themselves because they're afraid people are going to lambaste them. And you know what? And that's not okay. We shouldn't be afraid to ask a question or to comment or to post something without people attacking us, right? That's not okay. I had a message. Someone asked me, what does virtue signaling really mean? Like, I don't want to ask because people will like, you moron and idiot. So I think we should talk about that stuff. What does that mean? What does cancel culture really mean? What does some of these political things mean? And, like I said, my job isn't to think for you, right? My job is to give you information and teach you how to ask good questions so you feel like you come up with an informed decision, and hopefully to stay open to the possibilities that your original thinking was wrong. I'm always open to that, because let's face it, we're all going to make mistakes, and then we're all going to get things wrong where we thought we saw this snippet and thought, oh my gosh, we're outraged. And then we find out, we see the rest and we go, oh, whoops, made a mistake there. Like, it wasn't that big of a mistake, but it was like, okay, well, I see the other part. I see the opportunity, or I can see that possibility, because we need to be able to see the possibility and not be so hard fast. Like, I'm not this hard fast. I mean, I am a hard fast conservative, but I'm not like, I refuse to see your point. If it has to do with Joe Biden, I'm not listening. I don't think President Trump walks on water. I think he's doing the best he can. Do I think he has a interesting past? I absolutely do. So it's not like, because somebody else called me, I was a blind Trumpster Christian or something. I don't know, whatever. But just so we're all clear, I don't care. You can call me whatever you want, because I know, right? This is the Christian coming out of me. I have an audience of one, that is Jesus Christ. So what you think of me is so much less important than what he thinks of me. But I want to be a vessel to deliver truth, deliver information. And then, like I said, we can dissect it together, because that's what truth is, right? Where we look at it and say, well, I can see that other point, because sometimes there is a gray area. What did that really mean? What did someone mean by it? Because I saw a article that says 10 expressions we use that are racist AF, right? And we know what the AF stands for. And I started reading them and I was like, that is such a load of crap. I mean, honestly, like, it only became racist last week or 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago. It's not been racist until now. I mean, now, saying past the Aunt Jemima, that's probably racist now. It wasn't before. So this is insane. And I'm not going to be quiet about it. Like, if you want to change the name of Aunt Jemima, like, knock yourself out. It's your business. But if somebody wants to call me a racist because I like Aunt Jemima syrup, like, okay, bye, Felicia. I don't care. I really don't care. Because again, my value is based internal. If any of you have read my book, Evict the Bully in Your Head, we talk about the You Are Enough Global Initiative, which says that your internal value has nothing to do with your external circumstances. And I want you to hear that again. Your internal value has nothing to do with your external circumstances. Who you are as a person is what counts, right? And I'm going to read your comments in case there's something else, and I'm going to leave you with one more thought to ponder, because I'm probably going to address this on the next show, because I think it's super ooper, which is not a word, but super ooper critical. Let me look at this. And it's about the question, in case I forget, right? The question because somebody posed it to me like, they're all that in a bag of chips. So if you see a black man walking on one side of the street and a white man walking on the other side of the street, are you telling me you're not going to go to the side with the white person? So hold your thought for a minute, hit the share button, because I'm going to come back and give you that answer as soon as I check your questions here. Yes, thank you so much, you guys. Joey says definitely wants me to do the show. Yeah, the rest of the story. Exactly. And I loved that too. We need to stand up. Virtual signaling, coordinate your mask with your dress. These masks are so comfortable. Right. And that's a really brilliant marketing strategy for lots of reasons, but we need to dissuade the myth, right? I'm never wrong. Just ask my wife. If he's doing his job, you don't have to care for him. I don't know what one that's referring to. Sorry. I feel the same way. Call me whatever you want. Right, Kim? I'm coming back to Periscope, by the way. I was censored and lost my 5 years of work and my gold star. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Joey. So you got canceled there. Which one? I don't know which one you're talking about, but I've been canceled all over the place. I got censored by Facebook for exposing fake news. I mean, showing two different. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get into that. They can call me a racist. Canceled. Yes, like the cancel culture. I sure did, sister. They can call me a racist. They want. I know who I am. Exactly, Joey. I enjoyed your book, Evict the Bully. Thank you, Anna. The president. You don't have to like him, but if he's doing his job, then that's his job, right? We don't have to like someone, right, to respect their job, the job that they're doing. But we can look at them and try and hope that we can continue to help them around the edges to where they can become even better. So back to this question. And by the way, before I forget, tomorrow we are relaunching the Do You Neo show at the same time. This same time, 11:30 a.m. every Thursday, I'll be doing the Do You Neo Need Extra Opportunities. We'll be talking to you guys about getting out of debt. Our new sponsor is called You Financial. We'll be talking about helping people get out of debt because a lot of people are struggling right now. We'll be talking about different opportunities to help you to build a business, build a brand, somehow to make money, so you can not worry about what's going on and whether or not things open up. We're going to talk about those things to try and help give you opportunities. Yes, that's my hashtags. Respect the office. You don't have to respect the man, but respect the office. So back to the question as I round up to finalize today. Again, if you haven't hit the share button, please hit the share button. Tag someone you know who you think might find this relevant. Let's start. We need the voice of reason back. We need people to talk and ask good questions. We need people to recognize their value in asking questions and not feel stupid. That's a cancel culture. I'm going to call it a left wing because I swear everybody on the left wing, not necessarily the left, but the left wing, they're way over there. They're so far, it's hard to find them, hard to see them, that they have decided that if you ask a question they don't like, they're going to lambaste you up one side and down the other and make you feel like you're less than. That's not okay. You're not going to have that happen on this show, no matter which side you're on, right? It's just not going to happen. Look at you getting sponsors for everything. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. My Joey Giggles account was canceled. Oh, I'm sorry. On that question about the men, I would say it depends on a lot of things. Exactly. So here's my thing. That's what I was brought that question up. and I like to add my own attitude, as you know. So if there's a white guy walking down the street and a black guy walking down the street, would you not, go to the white side? My answer is absolutely not. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has to do with your demeanor. Okay. Hey, Larry, welcome to the broadcast. If the black guy is walking upright and smiling and going down the street, and the white guy has got his shoulders slouched and he's looking like he's kind of in that aggressive behavior or kind of gangbanger style, I'm going on this side of the street. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. I'm going to decide which side of the street I'm on way before I can tell what color your skin is, because of your demeanor, the way you're acting. Are you acting aggressive and cocky? Are you acting confident and secure? That is the difference. So that these questions, like, people are regurgitating things that they hear from other people. We need to ask better questions. We need to ask, okay, so is it the color of this? Because somebody be like, oh my gosh, I would. But ask yourself the question, is it because of the color of their skin, or is it because you're afraid of the way they act? Because let's face it, when people, my friend Kathy, I grew up in Garden Grove, and she grew up in Stanton, and there was an area called Crow Village that was just 2 streets over from her. And, we would look at the demeanor of the people. So we knew when we were walking, because we couldn't walk 2 streets down alone. We couldn't do it. 2 white girls, we ain't allowed to do that. But we would look at the demeanor of the people and who we knew. It had nothing to do with the color of their skin. It had nothing to do with, it had everything to do with the demeanor, the way the person acted. And that is what we need to start recognizing, is that if there's 2 groups of Black people, and some are confident, some are cocky, then, we're going to gravitate to the one that makes us more comfortable, and it's not skin tone related. Do you guys hear me? Can I get a 10 in the chat box if you get what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with your skin. 0. Got it? Has nothing to do with the it has nothing to do with it. It has to do with demeanor. Okay, put a 10 in there. Kim says she might walk down the middle of the street. Kim, I hear you, right? Like, I don't know which way to go. But then what? You can right? Somebody goes, "Oh, what, you racist? You walking away from me?" A confident person isn't going to say that. If I'm walking down the street and someone goes to the other side, I'm not going to go, "Hey, are you racist?" Right? I'm not going to do that. But who might say that, right? The cocky people that are looking for a fight, that are looking to get in there because they need somewhere to bring their energy, they might actually verbally attack you just for moving away, right? Or walking down the middle of the street because you don't want to insult anyone. It's like, you can't win for losing. You guys remember that term, right? You can't win for losing. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Kent or Kent. Thank you, Joey. Thanks, Ciro. After being kidnapped, it would definitely depend on their demeanor, even if you're purple. Kim, you've been kidnapped? Have you been kidnapped? I did not know that. If that's, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, it wouldn't matter. It absolutely wouldn't matter. It's demeanor. It's demeanor related. So guys, I'm super excited that you're here. Turn the notification. Kim, we have to talk about that, girl. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. And I will continue to pray for you, because it doesn't matter how long ago it was. I'm sure that's always a fresh wound. Like that would trigger you, and maybe some PTSD. I don't know, but I love you, my friend, and I'm so sorry that happened. Guys, super excited. Thank you for being here. If you guys are not in the Entrepreneurial Rockstars group, we are going to start. I was going to do content before. We had a lot going on, but I'm excited to be here. I hope you guys will put, can you do me a favor? Can you set a little alarm? Can you hit the button so you know when I'm going to be live, so you guys can join me, so we can share the message, so we can deliver value, and we can have a conversation again and stop being afraid? Because you can ask it in my thing. And if you need to ask it, like you don't agree with it to make yourself feel better, it's cool. Go ahead. Let's get the conversation started. Let's make sure that we step up and stand out and we speak. We stop being silent, right? That's my hashtag now. Stop being silent. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. And I'm going to get censored again. So make sure you share it out. If you have to grab it and share it in a private message, do, but let's get the word out. Let's build this so we can start making a difference. Okay. I remember, can't win for losing, right? It makes you aware of things. I'm sure it does, Kim. You guys are a fabulous audience. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be here tomorrow. If you haven't signed up yet, you can get one of the door prizes by going to doyouneo.com/register. So you'll get the notification about tomorrow at 11:30. I may actually do that for the whole, my regular series, so we can start getting, helping you guys get some reminders. But guys, super excited to be back. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your great questions and comments and everything that's gone on. And some of you, if you want to be on the show, I might be having some interviews of things that have gone on. So thank you for being here. Feel free to keep sharing the information that you guys find, whether it's about your own city or about the US or things that need to be talked about. Let's start the conversation. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao. See you guys later.